Hi guys, Harden here. I hope you're all well. Yeah, no videos for months and months, and then two in one day. A bit crazy. But anyway, in my earlier video I posted, I mentioned that I had picked up a bomber battleship from the event a few weeks ago, the bombers in a box, and I kind of ignored them because the issue for me, if I go into the fitting screen here, is, or the kind of the detail screen here, is that there are no missile variant. So there's the kind of the Maelstrom, the Rock, the Abaddon, and I can't remember what the other one is. Maelstrom, Rock, Abaddon, and Hyperion is the other one. And none of them, there's no missile version. And as you all guys know, I am 100% dedicated into missiles. But what I did was, because I had the boxes anyway, I got them as part of the event, I picked up 3 of these Maelstrom bombers because they had a shield extender bonus, and they also had here a bonus to the shield booster amount and shield booster capacitor need, which I thought was kind of interesting. But I didn't really play around with them because basically I was, again, it was like the DPS I would get out of this is terrible. I didn't have the bomb skills either. So anyway, I decided yesterday to actually start playing around with this and see what I could do. I think I'd seen another video talking about the kind of insane sort of tank that you can get on these, so I thought I'll see what I can do, and I thought I would kind of demonstrate this here. So before I get into the fitting in too much detail, I just wanted to drop out into, let's move this over, drop out here. Now you can see here the ship here, I've got 2 shield boosters, which doesn't look that extraordinary, 3 hardeners and a shield extender. Shield extender I've added on there because there is a bonus on this ship to the shield extender, the amount of shield that it gives. And then I've got 3 hardeners. You can see it says low capacitor there, but basically I've been sitting outside this station for, I don't know, maybe the last 10-15 minutes with these 2 shield boosters running. And as everyone knows, shield boosters are pretty cap intensive, and the cap is not disappearing. In fact, it's just kind of hovering. It went down 27, 28, it kind of go back up to 29, back down to 27, so it's actually stable there. Now bear in mind, on this fit you can see I've got 2 Nosferatu. I'm actually not using those now, so basically in terms of cap, this is stabilized at around 27% at the minimum, 28, goes back to 29, drops down to 27. So I'm running those 2 shield boosters constantly, and I'm not capping out on this. And again, if I was using this in any kind of combat, I do have 2 Nosferatus there, which should actually be helping with the capacitor quite significantly. But the amazing thing about this ship is really this. If I click onto, if I go into the inside so you can actually see the details here, I go into the defense here, you can see right now that the defense here is 809,000 EHP, so 136,000 shield hit points, with some very nice resist there, 79, 81, 79, 83. But the really amazing thing is the shield boosters here, because they get a bonus, they get double the because of that Citadel mod over here, they get double the amount of shield boost. So basically each of these shield boosters here is repping 5,382 every 4.7 seconds here. You can see this 4.78 seconds, so that's very fast. To give you an idea, a standard large shield booster, and again these are just basic C types, they're not B types or anything special, would be around 1,200 if you didn't do, if it wasn't pimped in any way, your ship, and there was no other bonuses. So basically one of these shield reppers is doing as much as 3 standard shield reppers, and if in fact here you got 2, so basically it's repping over 10k damage every 4.78 seconds. So if you think about that, with the kind of resistances on this ship as well as they are, basically your opponent, you would need, I don't know, you would need, I'm trying to work this out, you would probably need about 3 to 4 battleships with very high DPS all working together to actually break through this tank with 2 shield boosters, which again is cap stable. The only downside, as I said, and the reason I probably wouldn't use this ship, is because I don't have, well, let me go back into the offense here. Well, the offense here is just pitiful. I mean, it's less than a decent cruiser, because I don't have any of the, whatever, I can't remember what the weapon type is on the Maelstrom. I don't have any investment in the large missile, large, whatever, what is it here for this? Sorry, one second. Our place, cannons, yeah, so I have no cannon skills whatsoever, so I've just put on some large rapids there, which is the lowest DPS of the kind of missiles anyway, but they've got the highest rate of fire. I've also put the bomb module on there. Now I have trained this up now to, I think it's 4.4, but I was kind of very unimpressed with its kind of cycle time and sort of damage. Again, this is with the kind of cheapest but still kind of expensive ammo, and it takes a long time to reload, and there's a reactivation of 102 seconds. I think realistically the bombs, again, I'm sure some people will work out a use for them, but they don't really add significantly. They don't show on here to the offense DPS in the in this menu anyway. They just don't show, but even practically, I don't think I can't really see how much use they will have in PvP. They don't add a significant amount of damage. So again, I just wish that NetEase would bring out a missile version of this ship. But let me just jump out here again. Here, so you can see again the shield booster's running. It's hovering around, it's at 24 now, jumping up to 26. You can see this has just been running the whole time. So it's two large shield boosters repping nearly 10,500 shield boost every 4 seconds. You can see them going that quick. So you've got the Citadel mod there on the far right. You've got the bomb mod there. What I've got here in terms of the implant is I'm using the support projection implant, which basically has, in the moment, the selected one is in-flight disruption warhead, and what that does is it reduces the missile DPS, so that's why the DPS looks even worse, but it has an impact on inertia, adding 100% to inertia, and the speed decreased by 20% if it hits. So that's kind of why I go for these missiles, because they can actually be a nasty surprise to smaller ships who suddenly find that their speed, they're not as fast as they were, and their inertia is a lot slower, which allows you to hit a little bit easier smaller ships. They were not very good for fighting against other battleships, but could be useful against smaller ships. So that's why the DPS looks even worse than it actually is there. I'll go into the fitting just to kind of show you what I have done as part of my experiment for developing this ship, and that kind of insane rep on there. Let's have a look here. In terms of the rigging here, I have done an integrated rigging. Again, I had all of these kind of lying over spare in my hangars because I don't really use these on any ships apart from my main PvE ship, which won't get destroyed. On my PvP ships, I don't usually put these on there because they're so insanely expensive, but I'll just show you what I did here. In terms of the combat rates, I've got a core defense charge economizer, which increases the shield boost amount by 24%, and a shield bonus extender, so that increases the overall EHP. Then the second one here is an anti-thermal and anti-EM, which fill up some of the holes in terms of the shield and add to the resistances. And then finally, I've got an Operation Solidifier, which is another activation, so that's why the shield boosters is cycling so quickly. And then an economizer here, which increases the shield boost amount bonuses. So you could actually play around with those to get more bonus. And again, there's more stuff you could do. The only other thing on there is also in terms of my implants, the GU. As I said, I was on the support projection here. If I go into this, again, I haven't really boosted this one too much, but I've just simply got two on here, which is the shield booster output, which again could be better. It's an 8% one, which increases the shield repair effect by 26%. I think the max is like 30. You can see that boosts the module activation cost for 25%. But again, this ship is cap stable. We're just running those again, even without using the Nosferatu, the two Nosferatu. This ship is cap stable, so you can run those double shield boosters for a very long time. So that's one there, and then the other one that I have on here, which doesn't really make that much difference, is the shield extender, which I have put one on this ship, and what that does is it increases the shield HP boost effect. So again, the EHP there is showing 800,000, but in an emergency I could actually hit that shield extender, and that would add on another, let's have a quick look here, the activation cost, that would add on another nearly 12,000 every time that activates, albeit because of the GU, it wouldn't activate as often, but still you can see here the kind of shields recharge on this ship is kind of insane. It would make very, very good bait, but of course, who's going to trust? Who's going to actually start shooting at a bomber sitting on a gate by itself? So again, this is just an experiment. I'm probably not going to ever use this ship, certainly until NetEase does a kind of missile version, if NetEase does a missile version where I can actually get some decent DPS out of it. I think this tank is probably overkill. I mean, it's ridiculously huge, especially with these two reppers, as I said, just rolling on. But if I had decent DPS with it, I could possibly sacrifice. You could go with 5,000 rep per shield booster. You could actually think about dropping one of those. You could drop the shield extender, maybe even one of the hardener, which would bring down the overall EHP. You would still have like at 5,000. You would have the equivalent of 2 to 3 shield boosters on there, even with just one. So you could put another possibly 2 or 3 damage mods on there, and if I was actually had a ship that was a weapon type that actually was delivering damage, then you could kind of do a decent amount of damage with a huge tank as well. So I mean, they're probably some uses in terms of PvE you could put these two, but certainly in terms of PvP I wouldn't be using this just now. I just thought I would kind of demonstrate just how crazy the tank on these things can be, especially if you do go down the road of kind of integrating them. And oh yeah, the one other thing I forgot to show is I did get an implant for this, which was a clear sky core, and you can see there's an additional bonus there to shield. There's also a bonus to shield booster amount and shield booster capacitor need, which again I'm not sure is that. Well, that's actually almost at the max, so you can get a max of 5.44. So again, that's also contributing to that crazy the crazy EHP, the crazy shield booster. And you can see that the cap is slowly dropping there, but again, you do have those two. I would have those two NOS on there, so you would be sucking up if you were fighting or if you're doing any PvE with this. Anyway, guys, that's it. This is a very short one. I just kind of thought I would show this ship and what it can do, although as I said, for me, I won't really be using this for any time soon. Anyway, take care. Thank you guys. See you. Bye bye.